Mr. Sunir Shah, we are about to go into detail on partner relationship management. This is the class you will take when you are at that stage, when you're trying to figure out how you're going to track partners coming through this new system, or maybe you have a working MVP partner program and now you're looking to scale it. So you need more support, you need more help with payouts, you need more help with management of co-marketing relationships, you need better organization. So this is where you look to different types of tools in this ecosystem of partner relationships management. And we're going to shed some light on what types of tools to look at, what checkboxes to get checked at each stage of this whole program. This with me is Sunir Shah. Sunir, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll go into the class.
Hey, Alex, thanks for having me here. I'm CEO of AppBind and also president of the Cloud Software Association, which is the network of all the SaaS partnership execs, which is now 3,000 execs large. So for 10 years, through the CSA, the trade association, we've been banging our head actually against this problem. How do you build and scale a channel of people who, everyone wants to hear this as a business owner. Hey, I love your product and I want to sell it to my customers. But things that are come in a box like a toaster or CDs, when software came on CDs, that was easy. But with subscriptions, it's been really, really difficult. And so today we're talking about channel tools. I got actually banging my head against this problem for so long, both when I was at FreshBooks running partnerships there and by talking to my colleagues across the CSA for like so long. And what we are doing at AppBind is solving this problem around people who do want to do true reselling and make it really, really great for your partners so that they're in control and it takes the risk out for them and for their customers so they can actually buy a subscription just like a box of software used to be and then sell it to their customers in a way that makes sense from the agency partners' point of view. And that's what we're doing. So thanks for having me here. I have a lot of opinions and I hope to share them vociferously and loudly and acutely.
Couldn't think of anyone better to do this because, you are in a situation where you do also need this type of support for your work with AppBind. And you were going down this route and you were doing the research recently. So it's pretty top of mind. Internal here at Partner Programs, we are, in between everything. So we like to know as much as we can about all of the players in the space, but it's very difficult, especially as they all come out with new product enhancements. So what we did prior to this call is we had some phone conversations with some of the top PRMs that we know and we look towards as space leaders. So we have a few of those that we went back to and confirmed some of the options and the features and the delivery that they have and the product roadmap stuff that they have going on. And then we're going to also show some of the MVP options for you. But first, let's talk about sort of why you may or may not need a quote unquote PRM. So Sunir, what are some of the things that a PRM does for me as a software company to help manage my agency partner program?
Well, a partner relationship management tool is like a CRM or marketing automation platform, but specifically for channel problems. Because you're selling not directly to customers, you're selling through another partner. You need to enable them to make the sale, allow them to track the sale, pay them out some kind of commission, and also track it internally against your sales team. So these kind of problems are why PRMs have come into the market, because it is a tricky situation. There's kind of a love triangle going on between you, the end customer that you want, and also the partner who wants to manage that. And so having some kind of tool that rationalizes that and also provides support for your partners so they're more successful makes sense. However, I think we're going to get into this. I think people get into PRM land way too early and are not focusing on the right things right off the bat. And I love to talk, how to set yourself up for success from a values point of view with partnerships before we get into the software.
Yeah, and I'm just going through and highlighting some of these things that a PRM does, and they're very important things as we reviewed on our pre-call prep. I mean, some of the things that, companies, whether you're going out into the global market or not, but payouts, these channel conflicts on the global setting, as well as the payouts and tracking long-term and making sure that you're paying partners what they should be paid in the right currency are things that you as a software company, should not have to do yourself or should not have to try to build anything internal around. So you look to these PRMs. It's a big market for a good reason. The question is whether or not you are in a position where you need this level of management, or can you get by with a affiliate tracking solution?
Let me break it down. There's a ladder for when these things happen. Like, these are problems, what you're showing on screen, but they aren't necessarily the problems you have. And this is, you might have it and you'd be so lucky to have that because you're so successful. But it's like saying you have the same problems of Coke or Salesforce in your marketing automation. You do not, unless you're a big company like that. You probably have a different level of problems and get away with smaller solutions. In fact, one problem we're talking about is, we know a lot of people in this space who've overcommitted and they spent way too much money on their partner system and their channel program. They either bought a PRM, or they've also got their recruited engineers, and they've asked their CEO, or the executive committee to divert all this capital into building up their channel. And to build it in if they will come situation. And there's crickets. There isn't just enough lead volume, right, to justify this program, including their own salary. And what you've done is put a giant, weight around your shoulders, right, or all this pressure to deliver that much results, even before you've proven that there is a market. And, founders of companies have to do this all the time. They have to sell before they build. You are founding a channel program. So what I would suggest is remembering what a channel program is about, and then trying to get yourself, let's just first talk about the crawl stage. Very simply, your job in the channel program is not to treat the partners as an extension of your sales team, because they will drop you like a hot potato the moment you start putting pressure on them. Remember, the customer hired the partner first, or they came to the partner for advice first, and the customer treats them at a higher level than they treat you. You are just a part of an overall solution. Your job is to support that partner in making that sale to the customer. Even if you ultimately take the relationship from the customer, to make your your channel partnerships work, you have to treat yourself as supporting their sale to the end customer in some way. And you don't need anything complicated to do that at the beginning. If you don't have that many partners, just focus on communicating with them. Like, get a mailing list just for partners. Start talking to them one-on-one. Start building partner collateral, which could just be like a PDF one-pager or a PowerPoint deck that you share with them. Right? Work on the messaging first and see if you can get successful sales tractions. You can track leads coming in on a spreadsheet. I know it's terrible to say that, in a PRM conversation, but when you don't have that many agencies, don't overinvest. You're going to know everyone who they send over. They're going to tell you, stay close to your partners and get in that loop, because that's when you start learning what the program success is. And that is what you should be doing at the beginning. Don't worry about buying any solution, because you're going to end up, with a giant, cost number on your books that you're going to have to now deliver better results for, and which means you're going to put pressure on your partners to make sales that you've committed to, that they're not going to like, and they're not going to end up doing it because they're not going to like working with you, and it's going to fall apart. And we've seen that happen too many times.
You mentioned a couple big important things. So, we're here to obviously show you what you need when you get to that point, but don't overinvest, because that'll just put a ton of pressure on the agencies to bring in partners, your finance team, everybody involved. If you dump a bunch of money in, you could flounder before you even have a chance to really realize partnership success. So start off with an MVP, partner program setup, Google Docs, some sheets. If you already have a CRM, you definitely want to add a tag, even a pipeline. If you have a CRM that allows you to create multiple pipelines, they all should. Create a partner pipeline, load some leads into your CRM that are partner leads, have your team sort of do outreach on a beta level, show them some incentives. I'm doing this right now with a client where we're actually going after these ideal partner personas. We're using a sheet to track them. We're sending them messages that are just basically, hey, would a program like this be of interest to you if it existed for this client? They say yes and no, and they give us some feedback. We add it to the sheet. And then once we sort of prove our concept and we have some people that are interested in joining and maybe even interested in referring, and they start asking questions about tracking and about payouts and all of this, this is when you start stepping into, okay, now maybe a software is in need of being demoed, and you start to look to different keywords. You go to G2 Crowd, you go to Capterra, and you start typing in agency partner management, or you start typing in affiliate program management, reseller program management. You start to get all of these different things that come up. On the low end, let's talk about these real quick. So there's Lead Dino, Tap Affiliate Ambassador. These are all sort of on the same level. These are ones that we're familiar with. So I'll show them on screen just so you can get a feel. But Sunir, talk to us about the difference between like a Lead Dino and a PRM.
Most companies, software companies, would be perfectly well served with a simple affiliate tracking tool, because almost all your partners are going to end up on a referral commission basis. I'm going to tell you also, partners don't care deeply about referral commissions. Some of them do. The affiliates, like the true affiliates, definitely do. But those who are like in a value-added service to your customers mostly care about the extra services you can sell with your product. But what they do care about referrals is tracking that they sent you that customer, so that you guys build a better relationship with each other, so that you start sending them customers is actually what they care about. So you need to know who your best agencies are, and that's why affiliate tracking software is great. It's perfect because it gives them links, badges, landing pages, the best ones that they can send their customers to sign up for your software, and you can start tracking which customer came from which partner. So there's some way of building that relationship and tracking it. And the good ones, they all will do commission structures, but will allow you to do multiple programs commissions, because there are different kinds of partners. So you have like the affiliates who just want to send you leads and get paid upfront, like $20 to send you a new lead, or just straight up, they don't care whether or not you convert or not. Then you have those who are more like agency partners who want to have a recurring commission for as long as they're managing the account or for the lifetime of the account. You have some like software companies or distribution platforms who want to get a 30%, 40% cut for sending you a large amounts of traffic. So these are different programs. And these tools allow you to do that very, very simply by doing a very little amount of engineering on the back end to simply track when a customer converts and when there's been some billing event. And some of them even integrate with Stripe or products like that to track payments. So this is like the easiest possible way to set up a PRM. And all of them will give you the email addresses of the affiliates. They should provide you some way for you to either email them from within the product or integrate with your email marketing tool or a marketing automation tool, either directly through Zapier or something like that. So you can start putting them into your marketing mix, because you absolutely should have a partner newsletter. So many people do not have this, but you want to stay in contact with your partners. It also provides you should also provide all the computation, how much money is owed to whom, and if there's a tax, taxes involved, especially in the United States, they should handle that for you. So my favorites are Lead Dino, Tap Affiliate, and Ambassador. Those are like probably the three most popular ones. We use Lead Dino at AppBind, and they're very, very, very simple and get you going pretty much most of the way. And with just an affiliate tool, all you then need is like partner landing page, right, to send them to sign up for this, give your partner collateral on it, and then away you go. You have a partner program. It works great.
Yeah, and I will say Ambassador is definitely one I have considered from a previous project, and it's on the pricier side. So I think it's actually comparable to some of the PRMs that we'll get into. But just to recap, some of the features that you'll want to look into when you're past that MVP stage, you're ready to start tracking affiliates. The bare minimum, of course, is that link tracking, right? Having some way of making sure that your partners know that you are tracking them, and even a login to see where some of their sort of clicked leads, their referrals are in this whole system, whether they've been converted or not. That's something that an affiliate tracking will give you. It'll even give you, in most cases, at some of these higher plans, it'll give you some email capabilities. It'll give you coupons. This is important too, especially as you build this program, like Sunir mentioned. You will not incentivize them 100% through referral credits, through commissions. But giving them coupons to give to their clients, that is something that can really be an awesome incentive. And we have a class on incentivizing your partners. And the partners that we know, the agency partners especially that we know, they would rather give that 20% discount on to their clients than take the 20% for themselves as a referral bonus. So look for an affiliate tracking system that has the ability to give your partners coupons that they can then extend to their clients. And then let's go into the next level. So once we've kind of gone through, maybe talk us through the transition out of an affiliate tracking into a PRM, or just why a PRM over an affiliate tracking system?
So there's two paths here, but they come back together. Where you use a PRM is when you start getting into dealing with your sales team who are also going after the same customers. That's when you start going, well, I need something that can also manage the relationships internally into my organization, because you'll get into channel conflict. Salesperson will say, it was my customer. Partnership person will say, it was my customer. And then what do you even do about that? And a good PRM will actually interface with a CRM for the sales team. So you can decide what your policy is around paying out those commissions or scoring them for the partner or the salesperson. That's a whole other conversation. But that's when you start needing it. That's really the main thing. So when you're starting to see, okay, well, the sales team wants to take commission for this. How do I deconflict that? There are tools that don't have referral links, like AllBound.
Pulling up AllBound real quick. Great use cases for AllBound. Love what they've done.
I tell you when they come in. If you have an enterprise level product where referral links don't make any sense, because no one's going to link and self-sign up for an enterprise product. In fact, the sales cycle is really, really complicated. So those products are more built around providing partner enablement. They provide the deconflicting and the collateral. And the way they work is with a lead registration form rather than a referral link. So I would go, these are my customers, and submit them all through a form. Because you're just going to write in their email addresses, name, and company, right? And that's how you can match up with the CRM. So that's how those products work. So that's when you'd use them.
Got it. So we are going to, by the way, we partner programs. We'll link to this in your drive that you have access to through this class, but we're going to work on getting all of the PRMs to fill out this questionnaire. So this goes into everything that you should be asking your PRM on a demo based on your use case. Of course, some of this may not apply to you, like internationalization, et cetera. But here are some awesome questions. We have this in the notes, so you'll see this right here. So go through these based on your use case. Are you in need of blank, blank, and blank? If so, come up with a line of questioning for your sales rep at the PRM. So when you're on them doing a demo, ask, do they integrate with your support systems, Zendesk, Intercom, what CRMs they support. A lot of them will only support Salesforce. Some also support HubSpot. That's becoming a bigger use case. So if you're a HubSpot user, there may be a better use case to go with one that's heavily integrated with HubSpot, like Partner Portal. When you get into these conversations, ask them about their product roadmap, where they're taking the PRM, because the PRM integration is a lot like a CRM integration, where you do not want to do it twice. The affiliate stuff, that's pretty basic and pretty easy. But once you get into, you want to make sure to do it once and have the stack that you can sit on for a very long time. This course is about agencies and about consultants, but you may also have brand partners, strategic partners, integration partners, developer partners, which could warrant something that allows you more flexibility over the types of partners that you're going to support and how you're going to support them and what they want and what they're looking for, which means a little bit more of an enterprise solution like WorkSpan, AppDirect, Impact, which I'm not as familiar with. Look at all of these. We're going to give you some links to all of these, of course, and some questions to ask them. But the most important thing is you sort of want to make sure that you're getting the right solution for your needs, not over committing to any one solution, over integrating, overpaying for the solution that you don't need at that stage.
Looking at PRMs like PartnerStack and AppDirect, a lot of the future of the PRMs is they're also building up their own network of resellers and partners that you can reach out to. So if they are doing that, ask your PRM if they are building out a network that you can access to, and what kind of companies are also in that network. Because their networks are different. Like some are more accounting, some are more telco. It's good to ask them what the typical customer profile, because that might be a good reason to pick a PRM, because it gives you access to a market that you otherwise would not be able to get to.
Showing on screen, this is PartnerStack's marketplace, which PartnerStack used to be GrowSumo, rebranded, doubled down on PRM. This was their original marketplace of partners that they showcased. This is a great traffic driver for all of the partners in PartnerStack's ecosystem. It's a great, easy funnel for your partners. Like we know, Mark, he taught a class in our last course. He runs Task Drive here. This is their landing page on GrowSumo, which is PartnerStack, and that is a huge benefit. But again, check all the boxes. Make sure you're going down the road that you need to be going down for your use case. Anything else that we need to go over, Sunir?
Yeah, well, there's one more thing to think about as well, is globalization. So if your company is sufficiently large that your resellers and partners are coming from all around the world, you're going to need to find a platform that can handle not only commission payouts internationally, but taxes, compliance, regulation, and maybe even localization, which is when you start getting into the bigger companies on the list, because they will support you through those more difficult challenges, because it is probably going to be more difficult than you care to focus on. You should focus, remember, on them selling to their customers, not on mechanics. That's what PRMs are supposed to be there to help you with.
That's important. Okay, so if they have questions for you, want to get involved in either AppBind or Cloud Software Association, I'll just add some links to this doc so you have that in your notes. But where can software companies with partner programs go to connect with you and get involved?
If they're interested in supporting their reseller channel and they don't want to build very complicated reseller experience, have the agencies focus on supporting their customers, AppBind.com, that's what we're doing. And if you are interested in partnerships in general, you should join the Cloud Software Association, cloudsoftwareassociation.com.
As you're going through this, you're going to want help. You're going to want support. Partner programs, we're in the Cloud Software Association Slack group, along with representatives from, I think, just about every one of these PRMs are in there. We didn't talk about co-selling, but just so you're aware, co-selling, there's a whole nother suite of tools that you may want to look at. Crossbeam, Partner Tap, co-sell. But that's another world. For right now, we hope to get the main things across, just to recap there, and that's making sure that you're considering all of the functions that your partners need to go through to feel comfortable referring partners, and it could be very MVP related. Your partners may be very few and far between at this stage, so you just can manage that in CRM plus Sheets. As you start to grow your partner program, you start to want to market the program, have a landing page, etc. Maybe spin up affiliate tracking, any one of these that we showed. And then as you start to grow your program, as you start to bring it internationally, as you start to need help with payouts and you want to offload all that onto a solution, then look to PRM and look at some of the tools that we showed here. Hope this was insightful. And Sunir, thanks again for joining us.